Good time zone, friends. It's Druidsfire. I'm here to talk about the latest hotness that comes to Lord of the Rings Online in Update 49. In good company, we have the Angmarim Sorceress. Yee. The first new creep class to come to the game in 19 years. Yeah. Orion must be super, super happy because he's been working on, well, the idea originally came out that long ago, and he finally got it into the game. So as you can see, she's with the bad guys. She is a monster play class. So PvMP, player versus monster player, and she looks like she can cause some trouble. So the sorceress is a very complex class. You will need to think about what you're going to do before you do it. It's mainly, it can be a damage class, but it shines best when you play her as a supporting role because she can buff your friends, that is the creeps, and debuff their non-friends, that is to say the free peoples, and basically cause a lot of chaos on the battlefield in the Etten Moors. Okay, so again, nearly 20 years. This article, by the way, will be in the comments below. So do click on that if you want to read this on your own. So basically, the sorceress is an enemy driven against the Dunedain, led into the service of the Witch King, and hashtag blame Mordareth. Alright, so she's a student of the dark arts, and now we as players, especially playing the free peoples, we've run across Angmarim sorceresses in our day, and they were not fun to beat up. They did some beating up of their own. Okay, so I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs of how this is going to affect the gameplay because it's not really my strength in the game. So I'm going to leave those to folks who play PvMP more. But I did want to actually, take a quick look at it and see what it's all about. So it's all about, being hateful of the good guys and wanting to conquer them and bring them under the sway of her master, and thereby the ultimate master, at least in this part of the game in the timeline, that would be Sauron. But for right now, she's a living echo of Sauron's hatred. So she is a caster class. So no real armors, no melee necessarily. Kind of like an I don't know, just unbasic. The sorceress is kind of like the anti-lore master without the pets, and with a complexity that's more like a warden because you have to plan ahead. So basically, the sorceress works with spells, buffs, debuffs, and defensive magic. Again, she's not going to be a front line in your face hitting people with a staff kind of person. She's going to be kind of mid to back line to be able. Midline is probably going to be the best if you're in a whole group. That way you can keep everybody else, equally covered with your buffs and also your debuffs. And yes, watch out for lurking burglars. So the way the sorceress's thing, she deals with elemental magics, and that's balefire. It's kind of like fire. Umbral Pall is kind of like I wouldn't say. I mean, there's acid. There's gelid wind, which is like cold. Umbral Pall is basically shadow, so it's fire, shadow, acid, and ice, kind of. So this talks about elemental wisp, spikes, breath, and summons are the various facets of the sorceress's abilities. And she's got primary attacks and the quick spells. And so they're kind of like your builders. And then you got your spikes that are like boom, 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 boom. These are the ones that are going to do your burst damage, that are going to do your big defenses, or debuffing the other team. And how you manage them can keep them in play for longer and longer. I got elemental breath. So breath attacks, kind of honestly, breath attacks remind me of the breath attacks in the other game, Dungeons and Dragons Online, where you can actually be a Dragonborn and breathe fire or whatever. So it's kind of like that in basic terms, but I'm not sure what the range on those are. And I mentioned that she didn't have pets. Well, I lied, because she can summon fell manifestations that cripple and torment her foes. So it's kind of like Red Line Lore Master on the other side of the fence, which has the temporary pets that you can summon to fight things for a little bit. So it's kind of cool. And then you got your elemental finishers. And these are basically, the capstone that will let you do various things based on what element you're riding with. And then there's these sheaths that, as they say, they punish attackers by reflecting. Oh my god, I hate reflex when they're against me. So I'm guessing a lot of the freeps are going to hate her reflex as well. Or reducing incoming damage, also good. So Fell Insight is also a good one, weakening enemies, opportunities for devastating attacks from allies. Foul Knowledge. So, yeah, truest potential of Acid, Fire, Frost, and Shadow. And basically, it's more of the same, but with different words. Sorceress Study. So this is kind of getting into the weeds here. You can prepare up to 3 abilities from her devotions, with spikes, and breath attacks before you go out to battle. So I'm guessing at Gramsfoot or wherever. And prepare deal less damage than the normal ones, but improve the... Okay, that improves the associated debuffs and expand the synergy options. That's pretty neat. Now, the elemental synergy is kind of the core of what she can do. And depending on how you prepare things, that can basically unleash some AoE damage, and also doing some elemental debuffs based on the last ability used. That's actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. So the class traits are here: durability of Angmar, knowledge of events, veteran of long war, lessening cooldowns, dread summons. Yeah, doing better with your summons. That's also pretty cool. So you can summon Fumaroles, Ice Pillars, and Simulacrum. That's pretty neat, not gonna lie. Then got other cooldowns that we can reduce. Got some defense. You know what they say about a good defense is a good offense, right? Alright, so we got mastery of the various elements: acid, fire, frost, and shadow. So it tells you what you can do, like it increases your skill damage, grants your acid with spike and breath skills ability. So it's basically the same. It's like further increases the same, and then more and more. So it's like 1, 2, and 3. No, 1 and 2. I'm sorry. Alright. Oh, and there's one of the other outfits that's available that looks really, really cool. I mean, the one that's up here at the beginning is also really nice. To where you can kind of see the fell power. I mean, come on. Purple and black is generally I'm a bad guy. You didn't even need the skull and moon icon there to tell us that she's a bad guy. She's a bad girl. But this one is just badass. Look at this. This is really good. I mean, there's even the fine colors here on the robe. Pretty awesome. Okay, so we got Mastery 1 increases the element's skill damage and grants the Wisp, Spike, and Breath skills ability to increase to the appropriate... Okay, Frost Energy. The second tier is increase the skill of the Frost... Increase the damage of the Frost skill, increases the cooldown and swapping into the Devotion by 3 seconds. That's nice. Increases the duration of the Sheath by 2 seconds. And so it's basically the same for each one, but it's just based on the element. So, one of the interesting things about this file, though, that I'm assuming Orion wrote it, because this has been his project, is she's always moving, but she has to prepare a lot of stuff to unlock the full potential, and he's offering suggestions on how to get max burst damage, how to handle corruption traits, how the racial traits can also help, and which ones can do what, and also offers some actual builds and suggestions on how to play. So if you want to do all the synergy stuff, go with these options. If you want to be all about the fire, then you want these options. If you want to be mostly on defense, then you want to choose these options. And there isn't one. That's funny. There isn't really. There's only 3. There's like 4 elements, but only 3 builds. But you know, you're kind of mixing and matching some stuff here. So he's saying on here, remember that Sorceress rewards preparation. So you want to choose carefully before you go out into battle, and also gives you the point about, you know, debuffs spreading around the initial target, and also how to master the Sorceress. So this class is definitely not going to be best geared to people who are brand new to PvMP. It is going to be kind of like the Warden of PvMP. You got to prepare ahead of time. You got to plan. You know, it's like Warden. You got to plan your gamuts, what you want to do. So this is kind of the same, but it's kind of like a mashup between the complexity of Warden with the magic casting of Lore Master. I actually really like it. And that's the article. That's pretty much it. I am going to show you the price in game right now. I would like to point out it's showing me the VIP because I'm VIP. Yay me. I'm a lifer, so go fig. So from now, which is July 22nd, 2026 to August 4th, 2026, the bundles, there are 3 bundles that are available. There's the Quick Start bundle, normally $29.95. The Advanced Quick Start bundle for $39.95, and the Supreme Quick Start bundle for $59.95. And VIPs are getting a 30% discount until August 4th, 2026. So that's actually a kind of a nice thing for Standing Stone to do. Offer a little something to sweeten the pot there. And let's go take a look at all 3 of the options just to see what's included. So the basic Quick Start bundle gives you the class, immediate access to 16 sorceress skills, 3 corruption traits, and the Morgul Sorceress appearance. We don't yet know what that looks like. We will here in a few moments. You can claim your appearance skills and traits by talking to Kinade, the Corruptor of Gramsfoot. And it says it can be used for player versus monster player. So that's the low tier, just basically the basics. Okay, and then the middle tier, it's the advanced tier, same as above, but you're going to get the personal snowstorm march. That's actually really cool. At least the idea of it's pretty cool. 1,000 Martar and 10 each of health, power, tactical, physical mit potions for your schematics, plus unlocks immediate access to the Wickedness Incarnate title. The same skills, the traits, the corruption traits, and the Risen Cultist Sorceress and Morgul Sorceress appearances. So the Morgul Sorceress was the base one. The Risen Cultist Sorceress is the second one. Again, it talks about going to Kinade, and the package of Marta and PvMP consumables will deliver to the first monster character you log into after the purchase. So, gotta be careful with that. And then finally, the top tier is you're going to get all of the stuff as already mentioned, but instead of 1,000 Martar, you're going to get 2,000 and 15 each of the pots. And you're going to get First Among the Wicked title, as well as the previous ones. 17 Sorcerer skill traits, corruption trees, the Burkurani Sorceress. So that's the Burkurani Sorceress is the top tier appearance. And then you go talk to Sinead as well. So we're going to do something really, really quick. Thanks to Standing Stone, I do have a code to unlock the basic tier. I'm honestly not surprised they only offered the basic tier because, let's be honest, not too many of us creators play PvMP a lot. So I'm going to drop the code in. I'm going to make the game go away for a moment while I do that. Not that the code will actually help you or anything. Let me find it. Boop. Hold on, un momento, por favor. Boop. Alright, it's thinking, it's thinking! Let's see, in-game store, it's thanking. Alright, the Quick Start Bundle coupon has been activated. Alright, let me put the game back on so you can see. And we're going to switch over to Monster Play, see if we can get in. I do know there obviously is deep interest in this, so let's go back to our specials. Let's go back. Come on. It helps if I'm clicking in the game and not in the... There we go. Interesting that it's still showing me all three. What? Okay. So, let's go switch over to Monster Play. I was hanging out the Rivendell Broker because that's what I was doing. I've been haunting the broker. I'm waiting for a certain neighborhood name to open up, and Scenario just blasted a few open neighborhoods, and it wasn't the one I was looking for. I had 3 names on my list of ones that I was looking for, and I hadn't been paying attention for a while, and then one of the ones I wanted showed up. I'm like, and I missed it. Alright, let's go to Monster Play. Let's go to the dark side. Or the creep side, you know. They might be misunderstood. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, let's get us a sorceress. Yeah, she looks like the Angmarim, you know, like the ladies up north of Oghair. In Angmar, yeah. Alright, let's create a monster. Ooh. So their support roll, damage is lower, their training in sorcerer study and elemental devotions make them formidable opponents. Angmarim names come from the ancient speech of the Tuatha, the hill folk of Eriador, a musical tongue roughened by the influence of black speech. Common initial elements include Bren, Cam, Fin, Maris, or Tar. Common final elements are Ara, Dach, Kach, Lig, Nan, Ona, and Ven. Let's see what kind of random names it offers us. Ruffle? No. Gavla Bruce? That sounds almost inappropriate. Fakir? No. That's too close to saying, like, fuck you. Hathguy, maybe? Cambry! Cambry sounds like a really nice name. A really nice name for a really evil lady. Oh, it's taken. Of course it's taken. Harvey, Blenfern, Fenbrath, Tarfred. Everybody would call her Fred. Blentonflern. What? What kind of name is that? I kind of like that Idgar. It likes the Gare part. Awkward. Fail Flynn. Oh man, that would almost be a good name to use because I fail at PvMP. We've already had Lockfern, didn't we? I would never choose the Gale Drog one just because I like Gale Simone too much. She's awesome. She's like the chaos gremlin of social media. Sith drill. We'll go with this. It's not taken. There we go. So she could be a Sith lady. A Sith sorceress. Not that kind of Sith. Alright. Here we go. Little PvMP Inner Night. And I'm just going to go take a look at the various skill options. We're going to go get our appearance. And we're not going to actually go out in the moors. Alright. Let's see. Layout, load, UI. I should go with the session play. So, yeah, there's other people here. There's our person we need to talk to. Let's get this out of the way. My hands are green. That must be the basic appearance. Alright, let's get our stuff. So you can actually unlock... Okay, I didn't actually... Oh, you unlock them by going to the store and buying it. Okay, gotcha. Alright, but let me unlock the one that I've got. Okay, we're pleased to have you. Okay. Here's my bundle. Ignore all of these. Ignore all of this stuff. These are all from being a player of the game for 19 years. Alright, let's see what we got. Holy Christmas! Okay, here's our appearance. There we go. So we just picked up a whole pile of skills and options. So let's start taking a look at taking stock of what we've got. Actually, let me get all these boxes out of the way. Yeah, go away. So you can kind of see what we have here. We've got buff skills, debuff skills, range skills. Let's get away from these whispering dudes, or at least just get out of the way. There we go. Alright. Yeah, we'll just listen to the orcs yelling in the background. That's fine. Okay, so we've got 3 sets of skills, and we've got devotion and pestilence. So this is our stance. We've got, you know, this stance. Then we've got, let's see, devotion and balefire. And then we've got devotion gelid wind. And then we've got the devotion umbral pall. And so as you can kind of see, a lot of this is color coded, which may prove difficult for those who have color, you know, color blindness of various kinds. So you gotta want to watch out for that. Okay, so we've got Sorceress Study 1 and 2. Okay, Clear Mind is... Yeah, this is like the Gambit Cleanser, the Gambit Clearer in Warden. Okay, so basically these are your buffs. So if we change buffs, ooh, hold on, hello, that was pretty hot. Okay, okay. I do like the visible effects around her hands when she's changing, you know, like when she's just standing around. Though that will give the enemy who are in range and can see, will give them the idea of what stance she's in, and then they can plan accordingly. I appreciate how each of the 4 coverings, like the visual effects of the stance, are different depending on which one she's chosen. That's actually pretty cool. Okay. We also have Sorceress Study 3 floating around here, right? No, that's Study 1, and that's Study 3. So they all cost the same. Okay. We've got Shadow Sheath. So we've got the Shadow Sheath is this. Okay, so that's kind of like a recovery from those options and also a heal for yourself, which is really nice. Insight of Iron. Okay, Unyielding Resolve. Okay, that's basically an anti-minstrel option right there. Ice Tomb. Oh, Ice Tomb reminds me of the similar effect in World of Warcraft. You were playing a Frost Mage. Yep, been there, done that. Okay, so those are our buff skills. Our debuff skills are Cursed Knowledge. Okay. Outgoing damage. Banish the Light. Call upon the Darkness. So basically that's an actual damage. Like... It says shadow damage. What if I'm in the fire stance? Does it any different? That's still shadow damage. Okay. And then we can summon a shadowy simulacrum. We'll fight until defeated or its connection to the material wanes. To the material? I'm not sure. I guess they might mean to the material world or something. I'm not entirely sure. That's fun. Okay, and then your range skills, because of course this is a caster. You got Wisp of Flame, and can't be prepared. Okay, and I like that they tell you which ones can be prepared. I did notice in the article they spelled Balefire a little bit differently. I would have expected it to be spelled this way, B-A-L-E. So that's cool. Then we've got Fire Spike, a little bit more damage, and Flame Breath. Lava Spout. Okay, so you're summoning a Fumarole. Alright. I remember attacking the ancient Fumaroles in Angmar, so that's good. Stealing Breath. Oh! This is your interrupt skill. Nice. Very nice. Balefire Synergy. So this is a synergy. Devoted by infused by synergy, your target explodes. And damage. And that's basically makes it an AoE. Very nice. Okay. Conflict rate. Okay. That's hot, pun intended. So yeah, that's definitely an offensive skill. Torrent of Flame. That's basically a dot. More dots! More dots! Okay. The longer you can channel it. Nice. And then channel the worm. Okay, the power of the ancient worms. Oh. Oh. That's sexy. I like that. Okay, so that's what you get for your range skills when you're in the Balefire devotion. Let's go see how it changes when we become the Acid Pestilence Devotion. Alright. And so your buff skills stay the same no matter what, except your sheath changes. Okay, and your debuff skills stay the same regardless. And then your range skills become a wisp of acid instead of wisp of fire. So you're basically doing damage based on this other element instead. Acid spike. So let me actually go back to the fire one and see if the fire spike is the same amount. Fire, no. Fire does more damage because fire is meant to be the offensive stuff. And acid's kind of supposed to be a little less offensive and a little more dots. Little more dots, little more dots. Okay, acid breath. Yeah, you can see that you're not doing as much. You still get steel breath either way. Acid synergy. Get to dissolve things. And yeah, more dots, more dots. And you notice Torrent Flame is still here, and Channel the Worm is still here. I'm not sure why they're still there. But that's okay. Let's go look at Shadow. And so the Shadow Sheath does the same thing. Removes slows, disarms, silences. And does that. You still get Ice Tomb no matter what. So that's actually really nice. And this is the one where you can summon the Shadowy Simulacrum. I want to see what it does. Can I do this? Oh, I have to have a target? How dare. How dare. Okay, so we have our Wisp. We have our Shadow Spike. We have our Shadow Breath. It's like having too many nachos the night before, you know. Wake up with Shadow Breath. Okay. Umbral Fumarole. I kind of want to see what these look like. Let's see. Where are the training dummies? Ooh. Orion! Orion, my friend. I'm going to target you. Alright. DPS target Orion. Sorry, Orion. I gotta summon an Umbral Spout. I want to see what this looks like. Oh, that is so cool. Oh my goodness. That looks hot. We should also be able to summon the Shadowy Simulacrum. Oh, that is so cool. Hey! Stop hitting me, Orion. Okay. That didn't last very long. Hey, stop hitting me, Orion. Oh, that's what the sheath looks like. Okay. Okay, the breath, I was not expecting that. Oh, you can switch in the middle. Okay, neato. Gotta stop zooming out. Does the access spot look any different? Oh, it's just color coded differently. Okay. So I do like that you can actually switch mid-battle. Alright. Hey, stop it. So the sheath spells look the same no matter what. It's just color-coded differently. That is pretty hot. That one's good. That one's so good. I don't know how we get the absolute combustion effect, though. There's got to be a way to make it happen. Alright, let's try the last one real quick, and then we'll call it. Alright, what do we got? This one's called an ice pillar. Oh man, can I get that as a housing deco? Because that'd be nice. That would be so pretty awesome. Did I stun him? Oh, I did. Oh, it despawned. Alright, one more. Cool. So let me get back to the fire. Because I want to see how I can manage to get the channel the worm thing to run. Let's get all my fire stuff set up here. I still like that torrent. It's so good. I was hoping that somehow getting like all of the fire effects going at once. Maybe I have to actually prepare. Ooh. Oh! Ho, ho! Look at that! That was nice. Okay, we did the thing. I feel so proud of myself. Alright, let's stop picking on poor Orion. Let's stop picking on poor Orion. Alright, so that's a look at the Angmarim Sorceress. Including, you can kind of also see how much damage I was taking from the training dummy and how it was affecting my power. Let's go take a look at our traits. Let me put on my appearance. I got my corruptions. Let's see, equip traits. Come here. Appearance. Come here. I need to talk to the person to adjust my traits. I keep forgetting I need to do that with PvMP. Alright. No, passive traits. Alright, I don't want to buy anything. But you can, it'll show you how much you can, how much you need to get each individual one and make yourself more powerful. So I don't want to train anything, I just want to mess with my appearance. So, aha, maybe you. Hi. The thing is still trying to hit me. Alright, I don't need to talk to you. Who do I need to talk to? Maybe I should go back to the one where I got my stuff from. Aha! Guessing you. Aha! Here we are. So we have Black Sorceress appearance, Magenta, the Frost Weaver. Ooh, I kind of want that. So you need a Sigil of Battle, the Embattled Fire Weaver, the Armored Infiltrator. Let's see, Devotee of Blight Sorceress appearance, the Order of the Eye Novice Sorceress, or the Eye Dark Sister adherent, the Red Sorceress. Why isn't there a blue one? Come on. Nern Pariah. Ooh, that name is interesting. The Orachai Novice Sorceress, Orachai Hooded Dark Novice, Orachai Dark Mistress Sorceress, Orachai Red Novice Sorceress. So there's a whole bunch of appearances. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to show them off to you. Alright. So... I'm trying to remember how you actually equip these things. It's been so long! Interesting set bonuses there. Oh, you can set up a tribe. Let's go back to you. What you got? Aha! This is what I was looking for. Okay, so let's go set our appearance. Boop. And we're okay, we don't have any money for it, so good job. But this is what it looks like. This is the base purple outfit that we see on the main page. So that's the base appearance that you get for the lowest tier. I'm sure at some point the images of all of the appearances will wind up on the LotRO wiki. So definitely check that out, LotRO, LotRO-wiki.com. So that's the short version of the Angmarim Sorceress. Do check it out. And hopefully it's something that you will enjoy playing. And in service of the Dark Lord Sauron, wiggle your butt at us, nice lady. Or not so nice lady. Alrighty. There you have it. Angmarim Sorceress. Looks like it's a kick-ass class. Very, very challenging. I'm sure the folks who are deep in the councils of the enemy will make fine use of her on the battlefield, in the Atmors, across all the servers. So, if you like this sort of video, toss a like on it. If you like the channel, toss a subscribe on that. Costs you nothing. And you'll get my videos in your feed going forward. Alrighty, thank y'all for watching and have a great rest of your day. Bye now.